the way.
We're wanted men. I have spoken.
Welcome to episode 247 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. I'm Glenn, and over there is not Glenn. Jason's with me. Jason's still logged on to my my Zoom account from last week when he talked to Jason number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what we're
scratching at my door. I got a dog scratching at my door right now. It's like, come on, puppy, leave me alone.
Mom's not up yet. I want to play.
No, mom is up yet.
Oh, mom is up.
Just wants to play with me.
Oh, Dad. Is it Brownie or the other one?
It's Brownie. It's my daughter's dog.
The dog you didn't want.
The dog that I don't want. It's attached to me.
That always happens.
Mm-hmm.
The dog you don't want, and it's the dad holding the dog,
Yep.
cuddling him and loving on him.
Yep. A sucker.
Yep. So how you been the last 24 hours?
Fine.
Fine?
I slept.
Yeah.
It's not Friday.
It's
I was
not
telling you, Friday night is my worst night. It's like all the exhaustion, I feel all the exhaustion of the week Friday night.
Right.
And I did the wrong thing. I came home early and I probably should have taken a nap.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game, except did they lose?
Yeah, they did lose. So last night, Jason and I, with our wives, went to the Braves game, and yes, they did lose. They lost 5-1.
Ugh,
Yeah.
got worse.
Everybody looks at me at like the you look at me at like towards the middle of the 6th, and you're like, I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah, there's no momentum for the Braves. They were just losing, and I just felt like they were tired. They were on their third pitcher, and I'm just like, okay, I get where this game is going.
Yeah. And then we had gotten back to you. You had already told me that you were tired on Friday nights, and like I told you like the same thing. Like when I dropped you off, because me and my wife, we just met from work at your house, and as we're dropping you and your wife off, you're like, whose car is that? And I'm like, well, Mandy drove. What? So we told you the same thing like 3 times. So it's like, yeah, Jason's tired.
Yeah.
Jason's ready for bed.
Yeah, I should have taken that nap. Oh well. I was just trying to recoup for next time.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was cool. And the only problem, and you kept trying to talk to me, and I'm like, I never heard you.
Yeah.
My wife's like, just slam him, just nail and just bang him on the head.
I'm not banging people on the head to talk to them. It's fine. I just talked to your wife instead.
Yeah. And then at one point, we're watching the kiss cam, and I'm like, I know those tattoos. And the couple in front of us had gotten on the kiss cam. So, and then I tried stealing their moment, and you yelled at me because I was stealing their moment.
Oh, there's a spotlight. Put me in it.
And then your wife comes back and she goes, why didn't you kiss Jason? I'm like, because he would have left.
I would have smacked the side of your head. I don't want to be part of the circus when the spotlight's involved.
Right. You're like, just at Rogue Fun. That's the only time you like, and it's not even the spotlight, but you that's the only time you take charge.
Yeah, I don't need it. I'm good. I'm good in the sides and behind the camera doing my thing.
Yep.
That's where the fun is for me. It's not the front of the camera, it's behind it.
Yeah. It's both for me. It just depends on what you're doing. What kind of mood I'm in.
You're on stage playing bass. It's like people are looking at you.
Yeah.
Although, are the jokes true about bass players? Like people don't care about the bass player?
I think people make fun of us for that, but yes, I don't think it's 100% true. I know people do care.
I like the joke, and it goes over a lot of people's heads. The movie That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
Ethan Embry plays the bass player, they never named that character. You look at the credits, I think it's like
Uh-huh.
TBP or something like that, but it's the bass player. Like they never name him.
Oh, it's pretty much true. We are the unsung heroes of the music world.
Yeah, it's like you don't know when a bass is being played, but if it's not being played, something's off in the song.
Yeah, exactly. And I hate that. And I'm like, and I've been told several times, he goes, the way you're heard is by not being heard. If
Right.
you're not heard, if you're not in the, yeah, like exactly. If you're not in the mix, people know you're not in the mix, but you shouldn't be overheard. And I'm like, I like being heard.
And start learning guitar.
Yeah.
Do you know guitar?
No. I had a choice when I was 15. My dad was like, you can get an electric bass or you can get an acoustic guitar. And I went electric bass.
Because of Paul McCartney, right?
Yes, totally. Paul McCartney. I wanted to play, be like Sir Paul. So yeah, no, actually, the first bass I ever heard that was like, holy crap, was Billy Gal of Faith No More, where I was like, man, bass players can actually lead a song and sound good.
And Flea and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
It'd be another one where it's like, okay, the bass is definitely a main character there.
exactly.
But
Or you mean what's his name from? I was gonna say Back to the Future guy, and I forgot what his name was in Back to the
Needles,
Future.
how can you
Needles.
forget his name?
Needles.
Hand it over. Give me your Back to the Future fan card.
Oh, I don't have it with me. I just have Star Wars stuff on my desk. Oops.
You haven't picked anything up yet?
I did just finish paying something off, so I will when I get it, I can report about it. So that thing we talked about last night, I had sold
Mhm.
something while we were at the game and got paid, and the money didn't sit in my PayPal 5 minutes, and I'm like, I paid you off, so send me my thing.
Why haven't you sent it yet?
It's Sunday morning. Why haven't you sent it? Come on, man. I just sent you the money. So yeah, I gotta try to mail off. I'd sold a bunch of I had the fake, not the fake 12 backs, but the 12 backs that I had put I had 12 back cards and I put the figure with them and then put them in a case and nobody was biting on them. So I just separated them and somebody bought all the 12 back cards. So now I got to sell the figures and the cases. So I was able to pay off stuff.
Might second chance that or something.
Yeah. I'm not in that big of a hurry I mean, I do have to pay somebody else off. So, I mean, he hasn't called me and said, pay me my money yet. So I guess we'll see until he says pay him his money. But it'll get there. I've got some really nice 12 back figures I need to sell. I think it's, yeah, 3PO and Han. They're really good figures. I probably get 20, $30 a figure. See, I don't know what the prices are right now because 6, 7 months ago, maybe a year ago, they'd be 20, probably 40, $50 figures. Now they're probably $20 figures. I have no clue where the market is.
I haven't either. And I don't want to do one of those market recaps where I compare what prices are on eBay because eBay prices are not right, but also I don't know, I just feel like it's chasing money and this is what it's not about. It's not about money for me. It's not about value of collections. It's like I do it because I love it.
Right, exactly. I mean, but when you do sell it, you want to try to make a decent, you want to not get ripped off or
Yeah.
not rip people off. You want to get a fair deal for both people.
Yeah.
I was when I last weekend when we were up in Helen or the mountains. It's close to Helen. It's Helen's just the town. Lake Burton. There we go. We did go to some flea markets, and I found one flea market where this guy was selling Star Wars stuff. He had a shell of a land speeder, a snow speeder. He wanted $60 for
It's overpriced.
it. You think?
Yeah.
It
I
was
mean, that's
probably
just
worth
spare
10.
plastic. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I just looked at it and I'm like, $60. I wouldn't pay 60. I would pay $60 if it was complete, but not the way it's sit now. And then he had a Dash Rendar that he wanted $100 for.
Hearted?
Yeah.
He's way off.
Yeah. Well, it's the mountain flea markets where people, they get there and they got money and they don't care.
Come on down to the city and see real prices, people, because
R-
that's way off for Dash Rendar. I mean,
Yeah.
like I saw recently, and I think I mentioned this previously, on eBay, the long saber short tray Luke Skywalker selling for like 300 bucks.
Jeez.
And I don't think there's any common variant with Dash Rendar. I could be wrong. I know there is one for Leia Bausch, but I don't think there is one for Dash.
Yeah, it sounded like the way he had worded the sticker, it sounded like it was a variant, but still, $100 for a Dash Rendar, I don't see it unless there's something we don't know about. But I was just
Yeah.
at that point. It's one of those flea markets where we go to and it never changes. But they're doing some work on it. Somebody had bought it and they're moving stuff around. So we were like, yeah, we're driving right by there. Let's go see what it looks like. And it was just the guy in the past has had really good prices, but this time around it was just ridiculous prices. He had a bunch of Hot Wheels and stuff, and uh, he had a lot of Star Wars, but it was all modern. And the vintage pieces, couple of vintage pieces he has was pretty freaking insanely priced. So that was my Star Wars journey last weekend.
I did get the vintage collection Snowtrooper, so that's here.
I wanted that, and I could never find it.
I got the Heir to the Empire 3-pack for the vintage collection. I got my land speeder came in. I mentioned
It,
it last week. There was a prototype micro. It's, it's called. So in Revenge of the Sith, they stopped using the Micro Machine name and they just called it Micro.
uh-huh.
So when I say micro collection, don't confuse it with a 70s, 80s micro collection. It's Revenge of the Sith era micro, but it's
Hmm.
a land speeder prototype, and it was a killer price at 30 bucks.
Damn.
Yeah, I nailed that. Yep, that's mine.
Yeah, and that was eBay.
And that one came this week. And then the
Did you
last thing
find
that
that on
came,
eBay? I'm sorry.
eBay, yeah. And the last thing that came this week is kind of pretty special to me because we had Max on our show. Max was the senior brand manager, director for Micro Galaxy Squadron.
Yes, something
And,
like that.
and he premiered this on our show. It's the Geonosis Starfighter.
Yeah.
And so when that came up, this is one of their exclusive Jazzware Vault vehicles
Hmm.
um, because it's got extra paint deco. But yeah, I went ahead and purchased that. And so it arrived this week. I think it was like available for a purchase a couple months ago. One of 3,000. So I'm sure we'll see this at Ross at some point. But
Right. I almost went by Ross last night and on the way home because I had a little bit of time to kill before I made it to your house, and I just didn't because it was like, why bother?
there it is.
Yeah, that's a cool packaging.
Very cool packaging. They do this for their exclusive ones. There was one that they just released not too long ago. I didn't get that one, but this one I definitely wanted because it's got all the bells and whistles. They
Hmm.
do extra paint applications for this, so it will come out as a regular release. But
Does it have some metallic going on with it too?
yeah, it's got a metallic brown. But yeah, Max said this was one of his favorite vehicles and couldn't wait for it to be released. And then they had a pause. Let me get this closer to the camera. They had a pause. I believe this is my read on things because this was supposed to come out a couple what do you call it? It's not series. Was it series? Anyways, it was supposed to come out a couple waves ago, and they stopped doing unique vehicles with waves, and they started doing a lot of repaints and repacks. And I think they needed to spread out the cost of developing these individual fighters
Uh-huh.
throughout the line. So they did a lot of repaints and repacks, and they saved these for later down the line. So some of these are starting to come out. We're still waiting, I think, for the twin car pilot, right? The twin car. I
I
don't think
thought
we've
that no,
seen
they
that.
haven't really. I've given up on that line. I hate to say it
Oh,
that way, but unless it's something insane like the TIE Defender, I've just eh. I
yeah,
don't follow it.
yeah. I mean, the chase thing is just diminished the fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if you do want the vehicle and you got to chase from store to store, and then things get stolen, and like the worst case scenario happened with the Biggs thing with with a whole shipment being stolen, so that never got released in the Jazzware Vault drop. And like, this is why you shouldn't do this kind of stuff. Just make it
Right.
available.
Well, wasn't Biggs being shipped like separate? It was part of a Jazzware drop, but then and it wasn't part of the packaging or something. You know how they'll package like 4 or 5 ships together,
Yeah.
and then they were just throwing the Bigs in just to throw it in, so they'd get people would get a shipment, and then Bigs would be jumping bouncing around in there. Am I imagining that?
No, no, you're right. So they were supposed to be, well, let's just say for, I don't remember what series is it. Series, it's either series 5 or 4.
Hmm.
And that was never released in Jazzware's Vault as a box set. And it was came to light later on that somebody stole like 800 of them. And so Jazzware's never had the inventory to put in the box to sell it. And then I don't know if they recovered some of it or
Hmm.
if they just did another run of it. But if you bought two of the other box series that are sitting on their, store shelves in the Jazzware Vault, it's not selling. If you
Hmm.
bought two of them, they threw in a Biggs with it.
Okay,
And so, like yeah, like you're saying, you would get these two, and then there's just a Biggs kind of in that set, separate.
gotcha. So the Bigs
So
was free, but you had to buy 2 things for it.
I think Biggs came out to be $50. It wasn't free. People did the math, but if you go online, like $250, people are like, I'd rather pay for the $50 here than,
Hmm.
go on eBay and pay 250 for them.
Right. Oh, that was another thing Homeboy had at his shop. He had a couple of the micro. I think he had the Mace Windu. And he wanted $85 for it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Doesn't benefit Jazzwares, but I mean, this is just a tale we've told over and over again. We don't need to
A
recycle it.
tale as old as time.
A tale as old as 3 years already.
Right. Gosh, it's been that long.
Yeah, it was May 2022 that
Wow.
we were at Celebration Anaheim and saw all their product for the first time.
It's crazy because there's been 2 celebrations, but they've been overseas, so it doesn't feel like they've had celebration.
Yeah, and I have to say we were way off about the numbers. We
Which
we
number?
had
Then
the number of people and how it didn't look crowded. It was packed at Celebration Japan.
yeah.
So
And I think yeah, I think it was that and a lot of poor planning, a lot of poor because like they put Jazzwares or they put Regal Robot in the front of the room instead of in the back of the room, so people were, lining up for Regal Robot and clogging up the room.
I did see a report about tourism in Japan was up like 28% in the first quarter, second quarter, something like that, the first half
Wow.
of the year. Maybe that's what
Wow.
it was. And I'm like, well, maybe that's attributed to Celebration. I mean, when NB it was ABC was reporting 100,000 people attended, and I don't know if that was split up between the days. I don't think 100,000 people were in the room at the same time.
Right.
I think that might be like 30,000 the first day, 40,000 the second day. Like they break it up like that, and together they say, it's 100,000.
Right.
So
That's a lot of people.
it's a lot of
Um, um,
people.
and I know a lot of people that were going to Japan were making it a once in a lifetime trip or like a 2 or 3 week trip, which I would have loved to been able to do. That would be the way to do it. Make it a big trip with celebration in the middle of it. Because a lot of people I know, well, not a lot of people, not a people that I know, but people you follow on social media were like, that's what they were doing.
Hmm.
So that's what I would have wanted if I would have gone to Japan. It would have been at least a week and a half trip if could have made that happen.
The other thing I did this week, I went over to Rich's house and we collaborated on a video for Tim Effler
Yes.
to promote his new book, which was a lot of fun. The process of making the video, we revised the script a little bit. We edited it and dropped it online, and it seems to be taking off. So if you go to bluemilk.shop, you can pre-order Tim Effler's book. It's got a lot of cool stuff, including Star Wars.
Yes. What's Star
The
Wars?
It's thing where people go nanu nanu. Um, Star Wars, Star Trek, no, not Star Trek. Sorry, Ghostbusters. There's like a cool thing called Badlands that he worked on
Hmm.
that never went forward. So there's a lot of information about developed ideas that never made it to toy shelves. Silverhawks. There's unproduced Silverhawks. Jurassic Park, which
Ooh.
is a huge thing.
I didn't know he
There's
did Silverhawks.
I I haven't read the chapter yet,
Uh-huh.
so I can't say if he actually worked on Silverhawks, but there is an unproduced Silverhawks character there.
Ooh.
So I'll say that. That's the extent of my knowledge. I can't
Right.
say if he developed it or worked on it, but Silverhawks and then Jurassic Park was the other big one
All right.
that's included. And there's a photo with him and Spielberg. So
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
yeah, so pick that up. It's a good book. It's thick, like the making of Star Wars books, those hardcover books.
Uh-huh.
Like it's like that. It's like nearly 400 pages. I think it's like
Wow.
364. It's got a lot of color images. It's going to be on premium paper, so
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm looking. I'll probably end up buying one. I just got to get stuff in order. But yeah, I know I've been looking forward for that book for a few years. We've been hearing about it, so pretty excited to finally see it come to fruition.
And then there was one. Avengers Doomsday has moved to December 2026,
Okay.
leaving Mandalorian in 2026 alone. So hopefully, without those two nerdish movies in the same month, that'll leave Mandalorian to do billions of dollars.
It's dude, it's showing that there's billions to be made because isn't Lilo and Stitch is like killing it right now.
Yeah. And
Um,
even
go
Mission
ahead.
Impossible is doing well as counter
Yeah.
programming, and it's like they're not eating away from each other. They're both successful, so
Hmm.
it's good.
Yeah, I went to see Thunderbolts last week, and it was good being in a theater again. It was a good movie. It felt
It
a
was.
lot of like Matrix slash um Stranger Things
Hmm.
type situation.
Yeah.
But it was still good. I mean, it kept my attention for hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what Marvel does really well when they talk about real world problems in a superhero form,
Hmm.
i.e., depression, addiction. And so Thunderbolts really was successful, I think, in telling that story.
Yeah.
So,
It was a good movie. I'm looking forward. I know Fantastic Four, that's cut and ready, right? Pretty close.
July, yeah. I think it's
July.
towards the end of July.
Okay. And How to Train Your Dragon, it's coming out next month or this month. Pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
I know you're so happy about hearing about
I don't
that. You're
care.
like, I'm so tired about How to Train Your Dragon.
I know this is old news, but yeah, I'm gonna quickly shift into another topic.
Well,
Uh,
real quick, because your wife was talking about wanting to go to Epic, and she's like, I heard Isle of Burke, and then it just set me down, and you're just like, oh my God.
yeah.
It sent me down a rabbit hole with Epic. So,
And I'm
um,
if I go to Isle of Burke, I'm not gonna like Isle of Burke just because, out of spite.
yeah, no, real quick before you go into your new thing, I want to say I listened to last week's episode, and it's like I thought it was funny. It was sort of like listening to like old Kermit and new Kermit
Oh,
between you and your brother because it
yes.
was like y'all sounded the same but different.
Different, yeah.
And yeah, it was good. It was a good episode. I thought it was funny how, you could definitely hear you guys have the same cadence on a lot of the way y'all talk and stuff. And um, it was just funny. I know we talked about this last night, but it was funny how you were just like, you did this a long time ago. Statute of limitations. And your brother is just like, I don't care.
Yeah, what did he call it? Watching 3D movies? I forget.
Yeah,
Anyways,
but he was like all about the 3D movies, man.
3D movies in altered states. Being in
Altered,
altered
yes, there you
states,
go. He's
watching
like, go
3D
get in an
movies.
altered state and watch a 3D movie. And you're like, uh,
Okay, guy.
yeah,
Nothing makes me more upset than the new Kermit voice, by the way.
that's why I pulled it out because
They
I know
must
you
have
hate it.
they must have picked it because he's got the personality
Uh-huh.
and not the voice down. The voice is Kermit E, but it's not Kermit.
Right. Have they shut down? They've shut down Muppet Vision, right? Or not yet?
It's like June 7th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's happening.
It's happening.
It's the last opening uh day attraction at
Yeah, I think so.
Hollywood. So
Yeah. Which is a really, yeah, I don't know. I still enjoy Hollywood studios, but it's like the what it was meant for is no longer there. It was meant to compete with Universal, and all that stuff's gone. But Universal's the same way. All that backlot stuff's gone at Universal. So yeah, is your microphone back?
Yeah, it is. I missed all of that. It was almost like being you at a baseball game. Um, was there anything I needed to respond to?
I was just saying how Universal, how I miss the old school Hollywood studios
Hmm.
where it was like a lot of backlot stuff and it was done to compete with Universal. And now Universal doesn't have really any backlot stuff either. So I
Yeah.
guess they're even.
Um, this is old news, and it's something people have. This is not like most people are aware of this, I would say. Rosario Dawson revealed that they've started filming Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah.
So that's in production. That'll come, I think, post Mandalorian movie next year.
Oh, wow. Gotta wait that long. But hopefully the Mandalorian movie may build into it. Rosario Dawson, she had a couple of posts that'll get some nerd boys going crazy. Number one, she had that one revealing uh Ahsoka season 2 had started, and then it was on her birthday, so she was like posting pinup shots of her like in her birthday suit. And I'm just like, the nerd boys are gonna freak out over that.
Okay,
Yeah. You're like, whatever, man.
that's weird.
Yeah, I was like, is that Rosaria posing nude? And yeah, she was. I
On
was like, wow,
Instagram?
huh? On
On Insta?
Instagram. Well, she's covered up, but
Oh,
it was on Instagram.
okay,
Yeah.
sure.
I was like, damn, Rosario. Go girl.
One of the items on our 2025 bucket list is Mace Windu's return.
That's
Eh,
being rumored pretty heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard was on Happy Sad Confused podcast a couple weeks ago at this point and said, Sam Jackson has been incredibly supportive of me and has told me many times that he would act in something that I directed. And then when she heard that, she went directly to Dave Filoni and said, and then I went straight, oh, on the podcast, she said, and then I went straight to Dave Filoni and I was like, so let's talk about Mace Windu and where he is because is he dead? Is he?
Oh, shoot.
And I'm just like, yeah, he is. Like, we don't need to bring everyone back.
Right.
Um, it's pretty cool about Andor, going back to that real quick. 5 episodes in a row got a 9.5 on IMDb. It's the only television show to get 5 consecutive episodes above
Wow.
9.5. Some of it was even ranked like 9.7.
Hmm.
So, and then I also saw a 4-year consideration post online, which means that they're campaigning for an Emmy,
Nice.
and they better win. I don't know if another show wins, it's because of campaigning and like schmoozing, and
Hmm.
it's a popularity contest. Not always the best movie wins the Oscar or the
Right.
Emmy.
Well, that's like, you've been watching the studio, right?
Yes, yeah, it was
So it was
great.
like, and they kind of it's studios on Apple. It's a Seth Rogen thing. So watch it. It's really good. But they kind of led into that because like they're at a award show and one of the girls was like, I've done all the work, so I'm
Yeah,
winning. Damn it.
yeah.
So it's a popularity contest, and they kind of open the veil a little bit, which is a great show.
1978. What movie won Best Picture?
It wasn't Star Wars.
Right, exactly. It was Annie Hall, which I've never seen Annie Hall. But the cultural importance of Annie Hall is not as important as Star Wars. So
Right.
what is the best picture there?
Yeah, exactly. Star Wars. Still talking about it 40 years later. 50. I'm coming up on 50.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's all subjective. It's not always the best movie wins. There's a lot of people that think Crash is probably the worst movie to ever win Best Picture. So how did that win? It's all
Mhm.
because of campaigning and all that stuff.
Crash.
Ha- Have you heard about Darth Vader on Fortnite?
I know they ran a Star Wars thing on Fortnite, but I haven't heard anything else.
Yeah, so there was uh I think it's still going on where Star Wars characters are on Fortnite and then Darth Vader appears. And if you beat Darth Vader, he joins your squad.
Wow.
And they started using AI. Well, they used AI for Darth Vader's voice, and they used the AI to so you could speak to Darth Vader, But then Darth Vader started saying highly inappropriate and offensive things. He just started dropping F-bombs
Oh
because
my
it's
gosh.
AI. I guess
Right.
there's no guardrails, so it's becoming a problem. I think they've found ways to fix that, but at the start it was like, why is Darth Vader dropping an F-bomb?
Wow. That would
Why
have
did
been funny to hear.
Yeah, I mean, if you go online, you can see it. There's
Okay.
videos online, so if you really care about it. But yeah, I think when James Earl Jones signed over his voice likeness to Lucasfilm, this was not the intention to have him saying offensive things and dropping F-bombs on video games.
Right.
I think it was so that they could do things like an Obi-Wan, where they used AI to have him speak. It
Mm.
wasn't this, so hopefully they fix that.
Well, that was one of the things Frank Oz would do when he was playing Yoda. Like during a break,
Yeah.
somebody would walk by Yoda, he would just start cursing at him in Yoda.
Hmm.
So you hear Yoda like do that. And who did Bobby's World? Was that
Howie.
Howie Mandel? I've seen
Yeah.
stand up of Howie Mandel just go off in Bobby's voice.
Yeah.
So
He also did the voice of Gizmo.
yeah, he
Which
did.
I was thinking about this week. People concern themselves with like, well, if he eats at 11:58 and there's food stuck in his mouth and he swallows it at 12:01, does he turn into a gremlin? I'm more of concerned with like, why is Gizmo so nice and everything that spawns off of him is evil?
Right.
Why is that a thing? And why isn't reverse? So if there's an evil one, why didn't good ones spawn out? Like what's going on there? I want to know.
I don't know. It's just like the Back to the Future trilogy. Everybody points out the plot holes, and I'm like, dude, just shut up and enjoy the movie. It's like there's so many plot holes in Back to the Future that you can ruin yourself watching it.
There's only one big one.
The Back to 80 when they come back.
When Biff comes back in the
Yeah, when
future, he
Biff.
shouldn't be going
Yeah.
back there. Um, I was also watching Lego Masters.
Yeah.
Have you watched that where they make Lego themed items?
I have not, but I know what it is. I mean, I'm
So they did a Star Wars special and they had Stormtroopers and Vader come out. And it got me wondering because I did that presentation with the 501st at Toylanta and he dropped the information about like Lucasfilm reached out and once Lucasfilm reaches out, there's a blanket NDA and they're not allowed to talk about
mhm.
anything. And so seeing, and I know this was filmed, I know Lego Masters is filmed here in Atlanta. So
Okay.
I'm wondering if this is what that is.
Eh,
There's no, but if Lucasfilm reaches out to the Georgia 501st and says, "Hey, are you available for Lego Masters?" They're not allowed to talk about being on Lego Masters.
right.
So I'm wondering if that's what it is. I'll have to confirm with them at some point.
Right. Be like, hey, were you on
But
that show where they build stuff with that stuff from Europe?
I'll be a little bit more specific than that. But yes, that's what I'll be like.
I wouldn't doubt it because I know they had a couple of guys from Atlanta a couple of seasons ago here.
Yeah.
Were on it.
And I went down to one of the Lego stores down in, was it Peachtree City? There's a big Lego
Yeah,
shop
AB
down there.
Atlanta Brick Company.
Yeah, and they had the trophy on display there.
Okay. Yeah, those guys work there.
So,
Yeah, the guys, I guess they won it. I didn't realize, but the
oh,
guys that,
really?
huh?
They won it? I didn't realize
If
that.
there's a trophy there,
Oh,
but the guys
oh,
that were on Brick Masters work at Atlanta Brick Company, at the
oh,
Atlanta Brick
interesting.
Company.
Interesting.
It's a cool store. I mean, um, I think they've kind of set that Peachtree City up pretty good to where if you want to make the drive down there, because there's the Lego store, there's Full Circle, and then there's a comic, I think it's Heroes Comics, and then there's also like Dave's Comics, which is a little bit further away, but you can make a day out of going down there. It's a good day trip
Yeah,
if you
it's a
want to
little
make.
far. I
Yeah, I
was,
mean, but you can make it worth your while. Yes, it's an hour, hour and a half, but you can definitely make it worth your while because there's three or four really good shops right in that area.
yeah,
And I haven't seen the new Full Circle yet. Did you?
I haven't been down there
Oh,
for Full
okay.
Circle yet. I mean, this was a couple years ago that I was down at the Atlanta Brick Company.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to David Quinn's podcast about the Rogue Fun. He's released 2 episodes about the first 2 days, and there's more coming.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was comical, and I never thought about it this way before. But he was talking about traffic on
Yes,
285 and described it similarly to Mario Kart. And I'm like, abso-freaking-lutely. That's
it
exactly
totally
what
is.
it's like.
Yeah, but I'm so used to the traffic. It's like, yeah, and he was like, "Oh, it's a half an hour trip." I looked at it and it ended up taking me an hour and a half. And I'm like, "Welcome to Atlanta, buddy."
You
That's
know, sometimes I'll take back roads. I know it's, 10 minutes longer, but
Mhm.
the amount of stress of just, yeah, you might hit every stoplight, but it's better than 12 people cutting out in front of you and playing Mario Kart at 80 miles per hour and,
Yeah.
just speeding down these highways. It's just these slow stop and goes, back roads. Maybe I'll stop at a Walmart. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Atlanta traffic is crazy because you've got people that drive like 10 miles under, and then you got
Yeah.
people that drive like 30 miles over. And the people that drive 30, they both think they own the roads. And the people that are driving 30 miles over are pulling the Mario Kart thing. And then the people that are doing 10 under just sit in the lane in the fast lane. And you're like, please move.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Andor has only gotten better in time.
Yeah.
I saw Tony Gilroy and Dan, I forget what the other writer's last name is. They were talking about the Rhydonium that Saw Gerrera breathed in, and they decided to make that choice where he's addicted to Rhydonium, and that maybe, possibly, it's hinted that they were hinting that maybe it's that gas that makes him deteriorate on the inside, so that's why he lost his foot,
Uh-huh.
was the addiction to the gas, and so. Yeah, when he's huffing the air, it's not oxygen, it's probably the Rhydonium. They didn't give answers, but this is what they were thinking as they were developing the show is that maybe we can explain this in Rogue One. Maybe it's the addiction to this gas that is
Mhm.
making him lose his body parts.
I thought it was an addiction, not a oxygen thing when I first saw it, but
Uh,
it.
well, there was Darth Vader who needs oxygen to live and he needs a whole apparatus to and so when I heard that
Mhm.
the scuba sound, it sounded a lot like Darth Vader, and I just assumed that this guy has been through the ringer and he needs oxygen in order
Mhm.
to live at this point.
Right. Makes
But
sense. I mean, you could go either way with it. I mean, because it wasn't explained.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it would also explain his paranoia,
yeah.
and so I thought it was good writing.
Yeah, no, it was I enjoyed it and I enjoyed that whole arc. The prequels or the pre
Prequels done right.
yeah, exactly. It's like
No, that's not hate against the prequels. I'm just saying this
no,
in,
it
this enhanced your viewing of Rogue One. I don't know if the prequels enhance your viewing of the original trilogy as
no, I think
much.
yeah. I think there was a lot of oh crap, I can't believe they did that in the prequels, and I don't think there was it might have been the same thing in Andor, but it was a lot different. It was like, oh, I can't believe they showed that, or something to that effect. I can't believe they showed death. I can't believe they showed sex. I can't believe they showed the other thing, the SA stuff. I don't even know what I'm allowed to say anymore. The that's kind of stuff. So it was very adult. Andor was.
I watched the ending all over again, that montage sequence.
Uh-huh.
And one thing that I wanted to mention was the part where he's dreaming of his sister
At the end?
at the end.
Okay. Oh, at
There's
the end
one
of Rogue One or at the end of Andor?
at the end of Andor, the last
Okay.
episode, as he's going off to the ship for the mission for Rogue One.
Okay.
There's a cup that kind of sets up the dream, and it's just dripping, but it's
Hmm.
dripping like the tick of a clock, tick,
Yeah.
tick, 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 and it's almost like the ticking down is ticking to the inevitable of
R-
his destiny.
Uh-huh.
Um, and maybe his sister's waiting for him on the other side of the Force.
Okay.
Maybe she died shortly after he left. And so maybe that's what's going on there. The whole ending is a lot of ticking.
Hmm.
Even when what's his face? Melchi's passing him by, they're counting, steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
More counting. And then if you listen to the music, there's a lot of tick, tick, tick in the music itself.
I guess I
I
need to
just
rewatch that.
yeah, it's there, but I think it's just counting down to his destiny.
Mhm.
And I thought it was one interpretation with the sister being there, and we know that Cassian is touched with the Force, maybe.
Right.
Maybe his sister was revealing herself to him and saying, "I'm here for you. I'll
Hmm.
be waiting."
I need to rewatch that and pay attention. Like I keep saying, you watch stuff totally different than I do. You get a lot deeper.
Yeah, I like that one of the last lines. It reminds me of Dumb and Dumber, like that part where the guy chokes on the rat poison,
Uh-huh.
and Harry goes, "You heard it. His last words, he blamed me." And Lloyd goes, "Well, not if you count the gurgling sound." And so, like the last words of Andor is "May the Force be with you" by Bale, but
Uh-huh.
not if you count the one, two, three, four of Melshi counting down as they
Oh,
run.
damn.
I don't
Give me
know.
1 second. Yeah, I definitely Andor, I don't think it's a complete rewatch for me, but I think the last three episodes is definitely rewatchable because it's just like everything is already, you've already seen all the setup and then the action's happening in the last three episodes.
Yeah, it's heavy Star Wars.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I wanted to bring up? I don't think I brought this up, or did I? The Filoni not approving of Andor.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just heavy Star Wars, and so you need to be in a certain mindset to watch it.
Right.
It's not like the
What'd your
original.
brother think of Andor?
He liked it. Why?
Did he watch it in an altered state?
Oh no, no. But he would message me like, "Hey, what did this mean? What did that mean?" And I'm like, "Well,
Right.
this is what that means," and
Hmm.
because it was so subtle and sometimes with the
Right.
development of character.
Yeah, and you haven't. Well, we talked about this a little bit last night, but we have it on the show. I have just no desire to watch the Tales of or whatever it is, right? Is it Tales of?
Tales of the Underworld, yeah.
Yeah, the Tales of the Underworld stuff. I know it's there, but I don't know. I guess it's because of the characters. I mean, I guess it would be cool to see Bad Kane, but or Cad Bane, but I
I
have
watched
no desire.
I did watch the first two episodes
Uh-huh.
with Asajj, and watching it post Andor, I'm like, this is crap. This is garbage. I can't get into this because it's just not, I don't know. I don't know if they were just checking a box.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's really actually bad. I don't know if coming off of Andor just makes the show like seem bad.
Right. I know I heard something about there being a Wampa in one of them, so I want to kind of watch that because of that, but I don't even know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. I think I just need some time to recover from Andor and come at it with a fresh mind. And but I mean, even Ted from The Force, of course, they were tearing those episodes apart. So
Yeah. I haven't listened to their watch of I watched the stick because they did two different ones. The first one I listened to, but I haven't listened to the second one yet. Because yeah, they were just tearing it apart. They do yeah, they don't pull any punches over there.
but I don't know. Thought it was a good Andor was good. That's what
Yeah,
I think.
Andor was amazing. And for as much as I'm not all poo poo on Andor, but it's a really heavy Star Wars, and it's you gotta like you said, be in the right mindset and be ready for a heavy Star Wars or a heavy show. And sometimes it just you need to let that stuff breathe before you go back to it. And I think that's where I know that's where I'm at with Andor. I'm like I need to let this breathe and be able. I need to be able to be in the right mindset to be able to pay attention to it because like I've watched it to where I've got stuff going on in the house, like my mother-in-law's in town and I just want to get it done because people are talking about it and I'm tired of not being in chats and I'm tired of trying to avoid the spoilers. So when you watch it with I just need to get this done, you miss a lot of it. You just I need to knock this out and you can't watch Andor like that. You need to be able to sit down and absorb it just because it is so heavy.
I will say, and to be fair, more fair to Tales of the Underworld, when I was watching those first two episodes, it felt a lot like paint by the numbers.
Mhm.
Here's another Padawan apprentice master relationship like Mando and Grogu, and like it's like, oh, we can do other stories here. We don't need to
Yeah,
tell the same stories over and over again.
right.
So, and then, coming off of Andor, which I felt was original new stuff in Star Wars, and then going back to the same old, I'm like, we can do better. Come on,
Yeah. Well, maybe that's because Dave did it.
maybe.
And I don't want to fault Dave. Don't get me wrong. Dave Filoni's done some amazing Star Wars, and I think he needs to, he's the next up. Him and John are the next up to run it, but or not run it, but be, in creative control of it. Um, but
Well,
yeah,
I know I brought this up before, but what is Star Wars? Is Andor Star Wars? Is it enough to be in the Star Wars universe to feel like Star Wars?
I think so.
I liked that this show it didn't include Jedi, or really the Force was just hinted and briefly touched upon, but for the most part, like, if you're in the Star Wars universe, you're not seeing the people with the lightsabers and the Force. You're working in fields and just digging in and trying
Mhm.
to get by, and that's what the show is about.
Yeah. I mean, do they kind of, like with Star Trek, do they do that? Do they get away from the Enterprise and go do other things? I'm,
I think so. I'm not the biggest Star Trek
I, I,
fan,
I, I
but
know there's a bunch. Go ahead.
they do leave and go to planets.
Right. So I mean, it would be like going to the planet and then in the Starship Enterprise showing up. So you would see it from the planet perspective versus the Starship Enterprise perspective. And I think that's what they're doing. I don't. I we're so fickle and so as Star Wars fans because we're like, this is what we want, and then when we get it, nobody likes it. We want to get away from the lightsabers and the Skywalker family. And then when we get it with Andor, people are like, this isn't Star Wars. I enjoy seeing it without lightsabers. I mean, it is, you are watching it going, man, I hadn't seen a lightsaber, but it's nice to see.
I think Clone Wars dealt with a lot of different genres.
Uh-huh.
They had their Godzilla episode, Monsters episode, horror episode, Lost in the Wild episode, and I felt like that proved. And it's funny that it came from a Dave Filoni show. It proved that Star Wars can be many things. It's not just one adventure story that's inspired by Flash Gordon. It can be anything. There's a lot of elements that can come together to be a Star Wars project.
Right.
And it's ironic that he's saying that, allegedly, if the stories are true, Star Wars is not Andor,
Yeah.
which is funny because it's like you've proven that it can be.
Right. You've done it already. Let's do it again. Or, yeah. I don't understand it. I don't know why Star Wars fans are the worst Star Wars fans. Because they just, you know, I enjoyed Andor. It was just heavy, thought-provoking Star Wars. And I think people are wanting to shut their brain off for a half an hour, but then when you got to work at it, anytime you got to work at something and you're not prepared to work at it, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do with my hands.
What do we do with my hands?
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah. What else?
I think I don't know.
How long have I wish that they would tell us how long we've been recording. It's easy for me to say.
Yeah, I wish it used to, but then they don't do it anymore. We're at like it's 9:30, it's 10:30. We're like at 40, 45, 50 minutes.
Oh, we need 15 minutes more of content. We did announce this week, was it this week or last week? I can't remember. These weeks are just smushing together that
Yes.
the next Rogue Fun will be two tickets, two events, one ticket. I'm doing
Right.
this great. I'm doing this really well. So, uh, yeah, join our Rogue Fun page.
Yes. I've seen a couple of people try join in the Georgia page. So I guess it's working. So look up the Georgia Alliance and join up and say Rogue Fun.
Yeah, but that's not enough. You got to join the Rogue Fun page, which means you got to find the video and say, "Hey, I want to be included," and then
Right.
we'll include you.
Yes.
Joining the Georgia Alliance is not enough.
Right. Have we announced when tickets are going to go on sale yet?
Yeah, August 1st.
August 1st.
And the
And
other thing I
hotel,
need,
huh?
hotel will be the same time.
Gotcha.
And the other thing I want people to understand that it's not the claim system as before. We have a ticket system this time.
Yeah.
And I haven't promoted this yet. I'll have to do a post just to educate people so they know what to expect on August 1st. Because if they think it's just like claim, it's not that anymore. This is a ticket system that, you'll go and check out and purchase a ticket. You'll be able to print out your PDF with the QR code. And you'll also be able to add it to your Apple Wallet. So you can just bring your phone and scan when you get to the event.
What about Google or not Google, Samsung? Can we do a Samsung wallet too, Jason?
You print it out.
Oh, so we're gonna definitely be able to tell the uncool people from the cool people.
Yeah, the lesser people.
Right.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's okay if you're behind the times. You got a Samsung.
Yeah. No, I think that's important to know too, because I think that people be prepared to not pay for your ticket when you get your ticket. So that may slow things down a little bit, but heck, we don't know. It should be fun though. It still should be fun. Is there anything you're looking forward to in the collecting world,
Collecting World, Rogue
or
Fun 2,
social the
Summer Social.
summer? Well, there's a summer social coming up.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, and then there's May the North coming up in September. So those are
Yep.
the two major things coming up.
If I
So
can get a passport, I'll be there.
yeah, that's what stinks is I really want to go to May the North, but then when you do the math, it's like getting up to Canada is expensive.
Yeah, but you could smoke Cuban cigars in Canada.
I can smoke Cuban cigars here.
Where are you going to get a Cuban cigar? And how
Oh,
can you prove that they're Cuban?
oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't think about that. Maybe I should go spend that $1,000 just so I can smoke a Cuban again.
Just for Cuban now. It's not
Huh?
worth it. It's not worth that.
I mean, we do have I mean, we've got enough points that that airline's not the flight's not gonna be too bad. And again, just see how many people we can pile into a hotel room.
Two.
Two.
I'll answer that for you. The answer is
Two.
two. If there's two beds, it's two people.
Right.
And that's if they're unmarried.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if there's anything else. Don't need to extend it, I guess. It could be a short episode. Make sure
Yeah,
you
we can end it, man.
make sure you check out Dave Quinn's episodes of Prototypes in Production with Rogue Fun 1. There's two episodes with Thursday night and then Friday.
Yep.
There's a Saturday episode coming in a couple weeks. It's been great, and I think that's the thing that I loved about these episodes is to hear those other stories.
Right.
When I did event planning, and I told David this, when I did event planning up in Syracuse, it used to be the measure of success was the number of people who came to your event.
Hmm.
So if you had an event with 60 people versus an event with 15 people, it's like, well, the 60 people was a better event because more people came. And it's like, that's not exactly the best measurement of success.
Right.
If people had fun, if they made friends, if they, learned something new, those are the true, and it's tough because it's not something you could be like, it's not as easy as saying 60 people versus 15 people. It's like two people made friends, but I don't know that because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very subjective. And so listening to back on that podcast and hearing people, I met this person for the first time and seeing them now a year later and they're still friends talking to each other, it makes me feel like, okay, great. The event was a success. It did what it needed to do, connected people and brought them together. And I'm sorry, I'm tooting my own horn a little bit there,
No,
but
you did a hell of a job with Rogue Fun, man, and you're going to do a
yeah,
hell
we
of a
did.
job with Rogue Fun too. And
We
and I
did.
think you deserve, some of the accolades. You're very
It was a team effort.
it is a team effort, but you're the leader. You're the one that's doing the majority of the work. At least on the front end of it, and a lot of it on the back end. So you're the one doing the tedious work. I'm just the
Yeah.
one showing up and going, "Arr," what do I
I'm
need to
in the
do?
spotlight. Look at
Yeah.
me.
Woohoo! Let's do an auction.
Woo.
Anywho, um, so yeah, no, I think you deserve the pat on the back and some of the accolades. And I know you're like, I don't want, not that you don't want them, but you don't want them, which makes you a very uh Makes you not an, I don't know how to say it, but yes, you're awesome. And I don't know how to,
What are you talking about me?
yes, you.
Oh, I'm glad that my microphone went out because I would have stopped you a while ago.
Right, exactly. You don't want the accolades.
I
And
don't.
it's like you're just very humble and you're like, I just want to put on a good event. And,
I think modesty could be a value that many people use. And it's like, I'll get off
exactly.
my.
There's you modest. That's the word I was looking for. You're very modest and you're like, yeah, I just want to put on a good event and I don't want the spotlight.
Yeah, I'm also a black belt, and when we did classes, they would finish out the whole thing with a creed almost, but there was values that we all adhered to, which was
Mhm.
modesty, integrity, self-control, perseverance.
You're right.
And like those are the things that I still live with today.
Did you
So
say you were a black belt?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I did not know that. Well, that explains a lot too.
yep,
Wow. Don't piss Jason off. He's a black belt.
yeah,
But it's going to take a lot to piss Jason off.
yeah. But yeah, so also this will be too late by the time this drops on Tuesday, but June 1st, we released the sponsorship opportunities for the next Rogue Fun patch set,
Yeah.
which will be all Cantina themed. So I'm really excited about this set because we do get into we go in depth with some of the characters. It's not just the four that were released in Kenner, Walrus Man and Snaggletooth and Hammerhead. We go in deeper with those
Right.
characters. So
And it's always a good that ice cream sets are always awesome. And Ryan puts a lot of time into them, and it always ends up being a group effort because not only he does the polls and everything, and everybody votes and votes on the names, so the names have already been picked. So it's a fun set. It's a fun patch set.
yeah.
I'm amazed at how those things have picked up, and taken off.
Yeah. Yeah, and if people are out there listening and hope to do their own Rogue Fund someday, the annual did sponsorships. You can sponsor and then you get an extra item. This is
Mhm.
another good method to get extra funds and sponsor the event without asking people to sponsor because you're getting something unique, which is that whole patch set. So
Yeah.
that's another good way to raise funds for your event is through something like this rather than just asking people, hey, do you want to? And then even May the North, they have a ticket that's like 70, $80 more, and that's a sponsorship ticket to help
Mhm.
cover some of the costs. So there's different methodologies, but the patch set is a great way to help support the event without asking people to, give us extra money.
Right. And you're getting something for it, and it helped out a lot last time, and it'll help out a lot this time. So good way to do it.
Yep. All right. Well,
All right.
Glenn's a good guy too. I don't know what you said while the mic was off, but Glenn's a good guy too.
Thank you, Jason.
Oh yeah, Mike Screen. Did you listen to David's podcast?
Which one? Yes.
The Rogue Fun ones?
Yeah.
My skin was crawling when he was giving me the compliments. I'm like, David, please don't. This is unnecessary. Ugh. Anyways, get ready for another celebration of all things Star Wars. The Georgia Alliance of Star Wars Collector invites you to join us for an unforgettable 4-day event called Rogue Fun 2 Fun and Villainy from Thursday, April 30th through Sunday, May 3rd, 2026. While we'll still feature insightful panels, collection tours, and exciting swag, our primary focus will be bringing friends together from old to new, from across the country and the world. Think of it as a Star Wars themed reunion where the joy of camaraderie takes center stage. Come for the convention, stay for the friendship. We serve your kind here. Tickets will go on sale August 1st, and the hotel link with our room block will be shared at the same time.
Yes.
And thank you for listening to Smugglers Galaxy Podcast. If you could please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen. It really helps us out and points people to our show. You can follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send us an email or message us. We'd love feedback, and we'd love to make you part of our show. I'm looking at you, Lori. We'll get you on. Our email is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the Smugglers Galaxy logo. And thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. This is the way.
This is the way.